In the heart of America, a quiet storm has begun. Streets once calm are now filled with a restless youth. They march under one name, one idea: no kings. But what does it mean? And why is the world suddenly watching? In this video, we take you inside the No Kings movement from its secretive origins to its shocking rise on American streets. The battles it faces and its potential to reshape the very idea of power in the United States. No Kings didn't appear overnight. It started quietly, almost in the shadows. A generation fed up with broken systems, political elites, and corruption began to talk, to organize, to challenge the invisible rulers of their country. The movement is led by young Americans, mostly Gen Z and younger millennials. They grew up during economic turmoil, rising inequality, polarized politics, and a digital age that never forgets. And now, they're tired of being ignored. The name No Kings is symbolic. It's not about literal monarchs. It's a metaphor, a rejection of leaders who act as kings, untouchable, unaccountable, distant from the people they are supposed to serve. Every banner, every chant, every protest is a declaration: we will not bow. We will be heard. Analysts trace its roots to past movements: Occupy Wall Street, youth-led climate protests, student-led gun control movements, but No Kings is unlike anything before. Its power lies in its scale, its organization, and its reach across both streets and screens. It's not just a protest, it's a challenge, a statement, a movement with a pulse that cannot be ignored. So what drives these young rebels? What do they want? Their demands are simple, but profound. Many in No Kings argue the American political system is broken. They demand changes: ranked choice voting, proportional representation, and campaign finance reforms. For them, without these reforms, the same elite circles will always control power. No Kings protesters also want leaders to be accountable, to reveal the money, the decisions, the connections that shape policy. Lobbying, corporate influence, backroom deals, they want it all in the open. But the movement goes beyond politics. Housing, healthcare, student debt, wage inequality, these are part of their fight. They see political reform and social justice as inseparable. Dismantling kings means dismantling systems that perpetuate inequality. And most importantly, No Kings aims to empower youth. They don't just protest, they organize, run campaigns, educate peers, and demand seats at the table where decisions are made. The message is clear: the next generation will not be silent. No Kings has grown quickly, in part because of how it operates. Its tactics are precise, calculated, and, at times, surprising. TikTok, Instagram, X, these platforms are their battleground. Viral videos, infographics, memes, each crafted to inspire, recruit, and mobilize. One post can spark hundreds of local protests within hours. The streets are their stage. Marches, sit-ins, banners with cryptic slogans like No Kings. Power to the people, accountability now. Some protests are carefully planned in the heart of cities. Others erupt spontaneously, fueled by online coordination. What sets No Kings apart is their hybrid approach. Social media posts lead to real-world rallies. Live streams amplify messages, while offline chapters organize logistics. They have created a feedback loop. Online virality drives real-world action, and vice versa. But they don't just protest, they propose. Through town halls, webinars, and partnerships with think tanks, they translate demands into actionable reforms. No Kings is a movement with both fists in the streets and fingers in policy. Of course, No Kings isn't without obstacles. Every major movement faces risks, and theirs are unique. Critics say they are idealistic. Changing entrenched political systems is slow, difficult, and often frustrating. Some leaders dismiss them as naive dreamers. The movement is also diverse. Some focus on elections, others on social reform. Without a unified leadership, there's a risk of factions splintering, diluting their impact. And political elites, wary of losing influence, may attempt to suppress the movement. Media criticism, policing, or legal hurdles could challenge their progress. Activists are human. Long-term engagement, emotional fatigue, and financial strain could slow momentum. The challenge is sustaining energy without compromising safety or purpose. But the voices from the movement tell a different story. "I'm 21, and I've never felt listened to," says a protester in New York. "With no kings, I feel seen. We are the future, and we will not be ignored." If you want true democracy, another activist says, you can't have kings. We demand a system that works for everyone. This isn't a protest. It's a movement to reclaim power, a student leader declares. And these voices are echoing across cities, across states, across screens, worldwide. The media has taken notice. Supportive outlets praise their energy and ideals. Critics warn of instability. Political elites are forced to respond, some with dialogue, others with dismissal. Public opinion is divided. Young voters are energized, while older generations are cautious. Social media amplifies everything. Hashtags trend, clips go viral. Online debates ignite. No Kings is not just in the street. Sit is everywhere people are watching, reading, or scrolling. This is only the beginning. We dive deeper, revealing key protests, dramatic confrontations, shocking moments, and the possible future of this movement. Could these young activists truly reshape power in America, or will the system fight back and silence them? Stay with us. The story is far from over. The quiet storm has turned into a visible force, sweeping cities, stirring debate, and leaving the country wondering, how far will these young rebels go? The movement's rise is marked by events that captured both attention and controversy. In New York, hundreds of students and young workers gathered outside City Hall, chanting "No Kings" as banners waved in the wind. Their message was clear: the system is broken, and change is urgent. Washington, D.C. saw a march on the National Mall. Thousands came, many traveling across states, uniting under the No Kings banner. The protest was peaceful but powerful, a demonstration of youth mobilization like never before. What makes No Kings unique is its hybrid model. Viral social media posts trigger immediate flash protests. In one weekend alone, TikTok challenges inspired simultaneous demonstrations in over 20 cities. These virtual to real-life actions create momentum impossible for traditional parties to ignore. Each post, live stream, or hashtag acts as both signal and strategy. But No Kings isn't just on streets or screens. It thrives in classrooms, auditoriums, and town halls. Student chapters across universities have begun organizing debates, educational panels, and direct engagement with local policymakers. In Boston, a town hall hosted by students challenged city council members on voting reforms. For many attendees, it was the first time they saw a local government confronted directly by organized youth. And some local victories hint at the movement's potential. Certain city councils introduced pilot programs for ranked choice voting after pressure from No Kings. While federal reforms remain distant, these small wins signal that the movement is being taken seriously. The rise of No Kings is also a story of dramatic, shocking moments that caught the nation by surprise. A protest in Chicago drew over 5,000 participants overnight. Spurred entirely by a viral post on X, streets were filled with chanting youth, some masked, some carrying homemade banners. The footage circulated worldwide, shocking observers and even some policymakers. In Los Angeles, a live stream of a sit-in at a corporate lobby went viral. Participants quietly held signs demanding transparency. Yet the visuals were haunting. Shadows of dozens of young activists, lit only by phone screens, standing in silence against powerful institutions. On social media, cryptic messages appeared. No Kings tonight. Watch the streets. This sense of secrecy, combined with visible action, amplified the movement's mysterious aura and created a ripple of curiosity nationwide. No Kings thrives on tension. The contrast of quiet planning and sudden public action, online strategy and offline execution. It's part protest, part social experiment, part rebellion against invisibility. Media reactions have been varied, ranging from fascination to criticism. Progressive media outlets highlight No Kings as a vital corrective to entrenched power structures. Editorials praise its ability to channel youth energy into organized civic action. On the other hand, conservative commentators warn that the movement risks destabilizing institutions. They call it radical youth activism and question the feasibility of its demands. Some argue the movement is idealistic, naive, and potentially dangerous if unchecked. Politicians are beginning to respond. Some meet with organizers, acknowledging the legitimacy of youth concerns. Others dismiss or ignore the movement, hoping it will fade. But the reality is that No Kings has forced a public discussion on campaign finance reform, transparency, and voting rights. Among young Americans, support is strong, energized by a chance to reclaim agency. Older generations are more divided, with curiosity mixed with caution. And online, debate rages. Supporters share viral posts, skeptics critique, and millions watch quietly, trying to understand what this movement really means. So, where does No Kings go from here? Its trajectory could reshape politics entirely, or face obstacles that stall its progress. In one scenario, No Kings maintains momentum, expanding its chapters, winning local reforms, and influencing policy. Ranked choice voting pilots succeed, youth-backed candidates gain office, and the movement transforms from street activism to structural change. In another scenario, the energy wanes, internal differences grow, and without sustained leadership or funding, the movement stabilizes as symbolic rather than transformative. It becomes part of the larger activism landscape, but lacks lasting political force. Then there's the possibility of a backlash. Authorities, wary of disruption, may attempt to suppress protests. Legal battles, media attacks, or surveillance could slow progress. Radical elements might emerge, complicating public perception and threatening credibility. Finally, what if No Kings inspires youth worldwide? Movements in Europe, Latin America, and Asia could adopt its ethos, challenging invisible rulers, demanding transparency, and asserting agency. The movement could become an international symbol of youth-driven change. As the movement grows, ethical questions arise. Large movements can attract radical factions, so leaders must balance passion with responsibility. Should No Kings remain decentralized or formalize into a political entity? Formalization brings power, but risks losing the grassroots essence. And sustained activism is exhausting. Support structures are critical to protect participants' mental and physical well-being. Finally, reforms may have unintended consequences. Strategic planning is necessary to avoid harming the very people the movement aims to help. No Kings isn't just a story, it's an invitation to action. So, what can you do? First, educate yourself. Follow No Kings updates, read their policy proposals, and understand their goals. Engage locally by joining discussions, attending town halls, or organizing safely with peers. You don't have to lead a march to participate. Use your voice online to share insights, create content, and spark conversation. Social media is a modern tool for influence. When elections come, support candidates responsive to youth and reform agendas. Write letters, join campaigns, and advocate for change. And most importantly, stay safe. If joining physical events, know your rights, plan for safety, and stay nonviolent. Awareness protects both you and the message. No Kings represents a generation refusing to be invisible. They are challenging power, demanding accountability, and claiming their voice in a system that often ignores them. Will they succeed? Will the system resist or adapt? The future is uncertain, but the energy, the urgency, and the determination of these young people are undeniable. For some, it's a movement of hope. For others, a warning. And for millions watching it, it's a question. What would you do if the invisible rulers controlled your life? This video is for informational and educational purposes only. It does not promote or condone violence or illegal activities. All events, people, and scenarios are described based on verified public sources and reporting. Viewer discretion is advised. Always follow local laws and prioritize safety when engaging in activism. If this story captivated you, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share. Comment below, do you think no kings could change the US? Could young people really reclaim power from the invisible rulers? Let us know your thoughts.